The man shocked everyone nearby simply by summoning his basic class weapon. That's because the owner of this weapon is a being who stands at the very pinnacle of all players. A black scythe, and in order to change to this class, the man had gone as far as to kill a holy angel and carve out its heart. This was the only class that could fight against angels. He had already repeated this game 99 times. He thought this time he could finally end this absurd angel game, but he never expected that the final room would require 5 people to open. And what awaited the man? Looking at his body as it was about to fade away, he realized he only had one last chance. And just like that, the man returned to day 1 of the game. He knew very well that this would be his 100th loop, and it would also be his last chance. The moment the clock struck 12, a golden brilliance filled the sky. The descent of the angels made the night as bright as day. No one had any idea what was happening. No matter how many times he saw it, that face was just as hateful as ever. The angel looked down on the people below as if they were ants. Someone thought, this must be some new gimmick for the new year. But in the next moment, that man exploded. The angel was giving instructions. Ants have no right to interrupt. I will explain the current situation to you ants. You are all going to a new world to participate in a game. Your souls will be taken to this new world. But rest assured, the age of the participants in this game is limited. Those between the ages of 15 and 25 will be taken. As long as you complete the designated tasks, you will be returned to this world. And you will receive magnificent rewards. And now, it's your game time. A white light flashed, and everyone was transported to a virtual space. In this space, everyone could design their own appearance and had to choose a new name. The man didn't hesitate for a second. He had already used this name 99 times. And he would use this name to complete his final mission. Before long, large number of players flooded in, each one designing their avatar to be incredibly charming. But he knew all too well that being too conspicuous could easily lead to misfortune. The next moment, an angel descended and announced, "The number of players in this game has reached 1.8 billion. The people beside him were in complete disbelief. No matter how they looked, there was no way there were that many people around. The angel, angered, declared humanity's foolishness. How could there be only one field like this? The angel told them to think of the word window in their minds. A window would appear, recording all of their stats and items. All you have to do is survive for 20 rounds. And now, it is your game time." With a crisp snap of her fingers, goblins appeared on the land. The crowd looked at the monsters before them, their faces filled with terror. Seeing the approaching goblins, the people were terrified. It was at that moment that the man stepped forward. He understood perfectly that when you're in a team, the first impression you give everyone is extremely important. He was doing this simply to separate himself from the weak. But more importantly, he had to get the angel's attention, to make an even deeper impression on her. The crowd watched as Black Scythe easily slew a goblin, and they started to think that maybe they could do it too. But just as they were eager to try, a goblin rushed forward and killed one of the men. At that moment, the crowd finally understood. They were no match for the goblins at all. The entire area was sealed by a barrier, and there was no way to escape. The angel was quite pleased with the crowd's reaction, but in the next moment, her attention was captured by Black Scythe. This man had single-handedly killed 70 of them. Her face was filled with a look of utter disbelief. In no time, the man had already leveled up and completed the assigned mission. "I spent 10 minutes frantically slaughtering goblins. I wonder if the angel even noticed. Besides, I'm also doing this to get the special reward for being ranked number 1. The top-ranked person in this region gets a weapon exchange coupon." Looking at the weapons before me, I chose the dagger without a moment's hesitation. Because it was my first time completing the mission, I earned a chance to use a rune. The moment I crushed the rune, I obtained a reincarnation rune. But a notification said the target has already used it 100 times. Just as I thought, I couldn't get it again. Before this, the man had won first place in the challenge. This reward was far too little for him. He made a request to the angel, demanding that it give him an additional reward. Hearing this, the surrounding crowd was in disbelief. How dare he make demands of an angel? And it had to be fulfilled. The angel wished it could just crush him on the spot. But the special privilege could only be used once a day. The next moment, a strange smile appeared on the angel's face. "Your performance certainly deserves a better reward. I think the two of us should have a good, long talk." Just when the angel thought it could teach this man a lesson, it had no idea this was exactly the outcome Black Scythe wanted. Just as the angel was about to strike Black Scythe down, it was caught off guard when Black Scythe threw a punch. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. It couldn't figure out what the man before it was trying to do. What was even more unbelievable was that it had actually been hit by a human. Just as the angel was about to kill Black Scythe, it turned to look. Black Scythe had already vanished from his spot. A deep chill ran down the angel's spine. Black Scythe was already behind it. He then grabbed the angel's wings. The intense pain terrified the angel. Who on earth was this man? But Black Scythe just said, "Don't be so panicked. This is just to make you behave." At that moment, the angel stared viciously at Black Scythe. I know you must have a lot of questions for me right now. I know you want to kill me. With the dagger hidden under your wing, right? You don't have to think about how to deny it. I can read your mind completely. Isn't that right, Brielle? Then, Black Scythe took out the dagger and ruthlessly pierced the angel's heart. And Black Scythe did all of this just to obtain a hidden achievement quest. This was information he had only learned after reincarnating 99 times. When he obtained the Slaughter rune, his combat stats would be doubled against holy-type enemies. There was also another important reason for killing the angel. And that was it. Only those who have killed an angel are qualified to participate in the Reaper's class change. The most important thing for Black Scythe right now is to level up. At the same time, after a grueling trial, the others also passed the mission. The mission was brutal. Only a little over 5,000 people survived. Soon, those who passed the first round woke up. They all felt as if they just had a dream. But looking at the dead bodies beside them, they knew this was reality, not a dream. A man recalled the angel's words. He tried to summon his status window, and it actually appeared in the real world. He then picked up a stone from the ground. It was proof. The stats from the game had been brought back to reality. Looking at the stone, which was now like powder in his hand, the feeling of power was absolutely incredible. Major news outlets began reporting incidents of people with superpowers. The course of these events was all within Black Scythe's predictions. The people who gained power would become incredibly arrogant. When the players' levels rise to a certain point, no one in the real world will be able to keep them in check. That's why I must obtain the greatest power. Power strong enough to suppress everything. Strong enough to make them submit. However, now is not the time to act. The one thing Black Scythe needs to do now is go home. Looking at his sleeping brother, this is Black Scythe's only weakness. Their parents died in a car accident when they were young, leaving him with only his brother to rely on. Seeing the scar on his brother's hand, he won't allow anyone to harm his brother. The next morning, Black Scythe takes his brother to the club. He tells his brother everything, but his brother is very confused. Why are we going to the club so early? He asks, looking at his injured hand. Because I know the person who hurt you is in there. The scene changes. Black Scythe arrives at the club. You're the one who bullied my brother, right? The blonde guy doesn't seem to care at all. You actually dared to tell your big brother? The next moment, the blonde raises his fist and throws a punch at Black Scythe. Black Scythe dodges with just a tilt of his head. For now, I'll just give you a simple lesson. Then, Black Scythe throws a punch at the blonde, sending him flying backward. The furious blonde yells that he's going to kill Black Scythe. However, what greets him is an even more violent beating. If you dare touch my brother again, then you know your fate will be 100 times worse than today. Understand? I want to hear your answer. Before long, Black Scythe leaves the club with his brother. After today's lesson, he should be a lot more well-behaved. Now, I have more important things to do. The next moment, to his brother's utter shock, he uses their last 10 fang to buy lottery tickets. It turns out that in the previous game with 1.8 billion players, the first round had already seen half the participants die. The remaining players gradually came to understand the importance of game equipment. In the future, massive amounts of funds will be spent on equipment. These lottery tickets will guarantee our future, because Black Scythe had already memorized the previous winning numbers. The scene changes. The second round of battle has begun. All the players, as expected, descended into this world once again. It was just as Black Scythe had thought. It made everyone look at him with awe and fear. And at that very moment, an angel descended again. Is this a new angel? No one knew. Because the man knew clearly that the second round was one where you didn't have to fight goblins. You only needed to select one regional representative within 3 hours. Seeing this, the crowd was very confused. Does that mean we just have to choose a representative to complete the mission? And the angel gave them a definitive answer. However, the one thing I must add is that the regional representative possesses immense power of control. They can order anyone to do anything. This command demands absolute obedience. A 3-hour countdown will now begin. Just as everyone was relieved that they wouldn't have to fight this time, a meaningful smile appeared on the angel's face. At this point, everyone was discussing who to nominate as the regional representative. That's not important. For a game to start, there must be main missions and sub-missions. To get more resources, what I need to do now is level up during the double experience period. I need to kill these goblins as fast as possible to reach level 10. Come on, become my experience points so I can change my class faster. The provoked goblins immediately charged forward. And in that instant, the goblins had already fallen by Black Scythe's hand. Black Scythe must head deep into the forest to hunt. To ensure the human's safety, the angel did not summon goblins in the outer areas for this round. When Black Scythe arrived deep in the forest, it was just as he had thought. The number of goblins had indeed increased significantly. Now, it's hunting time. In no time, the ground was littered with goblin corpses. Immersed in the slaughter, Black Scythe had completely lost track of time. He hadn't realized he'd already been here, killing goblins for half an hour. Looking at his status window, he was just shy of reaching level 10. Without a moment's hesitation, he put his points into agility. As his agility increased, his movement speed, attack speed, and even his evasion rate all got a boost. Just as Black Scythe was about to continue, he sensed a strange movement behind him. He glanced back. "I don't know what you're up to, but you can come out now." At his words, a blonde woman appeared before him. She said she meant no harm, and another man behind her also apologized. Black Scythe looked at the man before him and suddenly remembered something. The man's in-game name was Tianmo, and he was one of the 5 players Black Scythe had shortlisted. "And I also need the powerful priest behind him to join my party. Could this woman be that powerful priest?" Black Scythe spoke up. "Why are you following me?" The woman explained that they had simply seen how powerful he was. "We figured our chances of survival would be higher with someone strong. I want to party up with you. You can ask me to do anything within my power. I'd be happy to party up. But only if you can actually be useful to me. Clearly, the two of you don't meet my standards yet." Watching Black Scythe walk away, the man muttered, "He's so arrogant." Once Black Scythe was gone, the woman's strength finally gave out and she collapsed to the ground. His strength is the real deal. His aura was just terrifying. The scene shifts, and Black Scythe is back to endlessly slaughtering goblins. As one goblin after another fell, higher-level werewolves were drawn to the area. Black Scythe wasn't afraid in the slightest. In fact, he looked excited. The werewolves fell one by one, and as the last one dropped, Black Scythe finally reached level 10. A notification window popped up in front of him. It notified him that since he had completed the prerequisite quest, he could now perform a class change. Meanwhile, the other players were completely lost, with no idea how to even initiate a class change. But he had already completed the prerequisite quest for the Reaper class change. The moment he crushed the angel's heart, a prompt asked if he wanted to change his class to Reaper. This was a unique class. The moment Black Scythe hit confirm, the power of ancient runes began to swirl around him. "You have received the Reaper rune. Your abilities have been greatly enhanced. Obtained unique weapon, Reaper's Scythe. You have gained a seal and the exclusive Reaper skill, Reaper's Eye. Effect: cast on any target visible to the user. As you are the first player to complete a class change, you have received the Tracking skill. By simply inputting a player's name, you can learn their appearance and exact location." When Black Scythe typed in the name, Huang Yangmin, he was shocked to see the target was only 190 meters away. Black Scythe couldn't believe it. He'd traveled so deep into the forest. Yet that guy was out here, too. "Looks like I'd better go check it out." Meanwhile, Huang Yangmin was preparing to attack the duo. The man was confused. "We've never had a problem with you. Why are you targeting us?" "I'm not targeting both of you. My target, from the very beginning, has only been the woman behind you. She looks just like the famous star, Shu Allen." At this, the other man began to hesitate. "If I'd known," he thought, "I would have ditched this woman a long time ago. After all, as the eldest son of a D-rank Chable, it's not worth dying for some woman." Just then, the goon beside him finally noticed Black Scythe. They had no idea. When he had started standing there, Black Scythe stated, "I don't like getting involved in trouble, but these two still have some value to me. So, you should leave now." Staring at Black Scythe before him, his performance in the first round still struck fear into their hearts. But then Huang Yangmin had another thought. In the real world, he could now shatter a 10-meter thick wall with a single punch. Perhaps this version of Black Scythe was no longer his match. His confidence soaring, he said, "Black Scythe, don't you think you're being a little too arrogant?" After speaking, he prepared to strike. But Black Scythe actually put his weapon away. Just as Huang Yangmin was wondering what was going on, "I will use that power you're so proud of to shatter you, and make you understand that what you rely on is completely worthless." Hearing this, Huang Yangmin thought to himself, "This guy must be joking." He then raised his fist and charged at Black Scythe. But before he knew it, Black Scythe was right beside him and landed a blow in an instant. Huang Yangmin couldn't believe it. He couldn't even withstand a single move from him. Black Scythe walked up and grabbed him. What followed was a barrage of vicious attacks. Seeing this, the goon at the side prepared for a sneak attack. But he never imagined that Black Scythe was already prepared, making it impossible to land a shot. Moving at high speed, Black Scythe closed in on him and summoned his death scythe. In just an instant, the man's arm went flying. He couldn't believe the gap between him and Black Scythe was so immense. "Don't worry, you won't be alone. I'll have your teammate join you in death," Black Scythe remarked. "Are you trying to play hide and seek with me?" He then turned his head to the side. "No matter how you hide, it's useless." He slashed out with his scythe, and a piercing scream echoed through the area. "This is what you owe me." Black Scythe thought back to the past. His once closest friend, after gaining power, had joined forces with everyone else to brutalize him. "I'm returning every last bit of the pain you gave me." The battle over, Black Scythe looked at the two before him. "You can rest easy now. In their current state, they can't do anything but vote." The two expressed their heartfelt thanks to Black Scythe, as he had no real obligation to help them. They also said they could give him Q as a reward when they returned to the real world. But Black Scythe replied that he had more important things to do, and left as they watched him go. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a crowd was arguing endlessly over who would become the regional representative. Each person was listing the benefits they would bring as representative, promising to give all players preferential treatment. Just then, a player with green hair stood up. His opening words silenced the entire crowd, and the green-haired man rejoiced inwardly. Looks like my rune's effect is pretty good. Just then, another man exclaimed, "You're so annoying." Green-haired man tried to use his persuasion rune to make the other man agree with him. But the man before him only grew more agitated. "My rune, it has no effect on him." The man declared, "All of you have to vote for me. Otherwise, what happened to him will happen to you." Without any warning, the man killed the green-haired player. This turn of events caught everyone completely by surprise. That man, he killed someone. That's a crime. The man's expression hardened. Does anyone have a problem with that? There are no prisons here. And no so-called police. You will all obey me. Once I become the regional representative, I will be the king of this world. At that very same moment, Black Scythe looked at his own status window. While everyone else was still around level 5 or 6, he had already reached a terrifying level 16. Having successfully changed his class, Black Scythe was summoned by a teleportation. When Black Scythe opened his eyes again, he was greeted by the sight of bodies strewn all over the ground. It turned out this man was named Zhao Zhangzi, a notorious madman. When he turned his head and saw Black Scythe beside him, he strutted over with an arrogant swagger. "Black Scythe, I've been waiting for you." Black Scythe replied, "I'm quite interested to hear what you were waiting for me for. Join my faction, and submit to me. You don't have the right to refuse." Black Scythe looked at the man before him with amusement. Have you ever heard the saying? Trash belongs in the trash can. Seeing Black Scythe's proud and arrogant expression, the man's anger was instantly ignited. "I'm going to kill you." But Black Scythe paid him no mind. He opened his palm slightly, and the death scythe appeared menacingly in his hand, covered in a bloody, terrifying aura. The man in front of him was immediately dumbfounded. A weapon that appeared out of thin air? Black Scythe spoke slowly, "You'd better watch what you say. Otherwise, you'll pay the price." By now, Zhao Zhangzi's face was covered in beads of sweat. His pride wouldn't allow him to show fear. He shouted, "If you've got the guts, then come at me." Black Scythe looked at the man and gave a helpless smile. "Your legs are shaking uncontrollably, yet you're still trying to act tough. If I didn't need him for the third round, I would kill him right now without a second thought." Just then, an angel descended before everyone. The 3 hours were up. "Please begin your voting." At this, the man glared angrily at Black Scythe. He then yelled at the crowd around them, "If anyone dares not to vote for me, I'll kill them. I must get the position of regional representative. I am going to kill Black Scythe." The next moment, a voting window appeared in front of everyone. At this point, most of the players looked at the man with fear as he continued to shout, "Everyone must vote for me. Time's up. Let's see the final voting results." The angel then clapped her hands lightly. The results for the regional representative appeared on the large screen. As expected, the man had the most votes. He was still furious inside. He couldn't believe that even after threatening them so severely, half of the people still voted for Black Scythe. Just then, the angel announced, "The future regional representative is this man." The man revealed a triumphant smile. The first thing he would do with his new authority was kill Black Scythe. "Next, I will bestow the regional representative's power of domination." However, the man's expression turned to horror in the next moment. It doesn't work. The regional representative's power can only be used a total of 10 times and can only control one person at a time. This skill doesn't work on players with a class. The angel said with a smile, and this skill cannot be used to dominate a player who has already changed their class. Next is the moment to distribute the rewards. There was a hidden mission in this task. Then, a window appeared in front of everyone. Go accept the class change quest before voting. Reward: a 50% discount on today's items. Players who successfully change class will receive this reward. This window appears when you reach level 10. You foolishly wasted 3 precious hours. The crowd was filled with regret. You don't need to be too remorseful or blame yourselves. Out of 1 billion players, only 80,000 successfully changed their class. And our district also has 1 player who has changed class. Everyone was bewildered. Let's see who it is, out of 800 million people. His class is the Grim Reaper. Everyone looked towards Black Scythe. I knew from the very first round. This man is terrifying. At this moment, Zhao Zhangzi was frustrated. He had wanted to rely on his authority to kill Black Scythe. The mission ranking is determined by completion time. Not only has Black Scythe already changed his class, but there's something I'm very curious about right now. Your name and your class are a perfect match. Did you know beforehand that you were going to change your class to a Reaper? To which Black Scythe replied, that it was all a complete coincidence. He never expected there would be a class that matched his name. Black Scythe was very relieved. The angel only knew that it was a hidden class. She had no idea that you needed the heart of a dead angel to make the class change. At the same time, I congratulate you. You will be the one and only person in the entire region who is not controlled by my authority. Hearing this, everyone in the region looked confused. What did that mean? The angel revealed the regional representative skill. If you don't want to be controlled, then level up to 10 and change your class as soon as possible. Oh, and this is your reward. A scroll to redeem rare equipment. Black Scythe unhesitatingly chose the leather armor that suited him. Black Scythe also unhesitatingly chose an experience bonus, which would take effect in the third round of the game. In the next moment, a light appeared. It was time to go back. The first thing Black Scythe did upon returning wasn't to rest, but to pull up his tracking skill. Track and Xianxia. As expected, he should be in this building right now. He then walked straight out of his house. Before this, Black Scythe had followed Xianxia to the front of the skyscraper. Right now, Xianxia was meeting with Ma Tinlu. Xianxia said that Mr. Ma was a truly powerful player. He had discovered from the rankings released by the angel that you were the second person to change class to a Dark Knight. Ma Tinlu understood perfectly. This guy was flattering him so much because he must want something. Xianxia then began to ask for advice. He asked how to successfully change his class. But Ma Tinlu was being evasive. He claimed that he just killed a few goblins and the proof of class change dropped. Only he himself knew the truth. Every person who entered the game had one random chance at a rune, and it was precisely because of the rune he received that he successfully changed his class. But he would never tell, not even his closest partners. Downstairs, Black Scythe sighed. What a foolish man. Choosing to become a Dark Knight was a foolish decision. The Dark Knight is an extremely powerful class, but it also has an extremely harsh drawback. It can't use normal mana. And dark mana is incredibly difficult to obtain in the game. This makes the Dark Knight an extremely powerful, yet crippled, class. The next morning, Black Scythe arrived at the lottery shop. But this time, it was to apologize to the lottery shop owner. Relying on his memories from his past life, Black Scythe had won tens of billions in prize money. And it was because of his actions that the lottery shop received an order from the government and was no longer allowed to open. Black Scythe hoped to use money as compensation. After saying this, he turned to leave. Then, the shop owner's daughter chased after Black Scythe. It turned out Black Scythe's goal wasn't the lottery shop, but to create an encounter with the girl in front of him. The girl was a mage with a very rare blessing type class. In his past life, he had saved her during a battle with monsters. The girl's sincerity had moved Black Scythe's heart. Looking at the girl before him, perhaps she was another one of his soft spots. He then teased the girl, saying, "Let's find a place and go on a date." Julie was utterly shocked. She clearly hadn't expected Black Scythe to be so direct. But what Black Scythe didn't expect was that Julie would agree right away, and even said she would be there for sure. Just as Black Scythe was about to leave, the girl quickly stood up. "You really don't remember me? We used to be desk mates." She vaguely remembered a time when Black Scythe was being bullied by their classmates. She was the one who gathered her courage to secretly call the police, and even secretly watched him until he got home safely. No matter what difficulties he faced, he was always smiling. His smile healed me. I don't even know when I started paying attention to him. But I was so shy, right up until graduation day. I never worked up the courage to even say hello. This time, I'm definitely not going to be a coward again. The next morning, they both arrived early at the spot they had agreed upon yesterday. Looking at the boy in front of her, it was a scene Julie wouldn't have dared to even dream of. "Oh, right, I have something for you." He then pulled a stone glowing with a purple light from his pocket. "I got this from fighting monsters in another world. You can't refuse it." A little while later, their meeting came to an end. As Hei-Lian walked down the road, he looked incredibly pleased. Staring at the window in front of him, he couldn't help but feel emotional. "I really didn't expect to get this item so early this time around." To others, it might just be a common low-level amethyst, but only Hei-Lian knew the truth. When a character reaches level 20, they unlock combo skills. This feature allows for the fusion of magic and weapons, and it also grants additional abilities. Crystals come in 7 colors. Red increases damage, orange enhances defense, and blue represents the mana attribute. Green provides a boost to agility. Then there's cyan and yellow, which represent luck and damage reduction, respectively. As for purple, everyone considered it useless, and its drop rate was ridiculously low. But only Hei-Lian knew. They had no idea that the setting method for the purple crystal was different from all the others. The purple crystal possessed the properties of all the other crystals combined. It was, in every sense of the word, a mythical item. The scene changes. Lying on his bed, Hei-Lian stared intently at the system shop. The shop was filled with mostly common level items. For a beginner, they made it easy to get through the early stages. But right now, Hei-Lian was repeatedly hitting the refresh button. An item's grade would randomly refresh to something of a higher quality. The chances were just extremely low. But Hei-Lian knew something. Speed plus 1%, up to a maximum of 25%, will last until the end of the round. Today, an epic grade item would appear in the shop. He stared at the price. 4,600 gold coins. Hei-Lian was very thankful he had earned over 10,000 gold coins in 2 rounds. Of course, there was still the reward from completing his job advancement quest. In the end, he only spent 2,300 gold coins to acquire an epic grade item. Looking at the more than 10,000 gold coins he had left, he wondered if he should buy some gear to tide him over. But after giving it some thought, he abandoned the idea. Because if he saved up just over 6,000 more gold, he could buy a new skill. A moment later, a bell chimed. All the summoned individuals looked around at their surroundings with unfamiliar expressions. The towering city walls around them gave everyone a sense of security, making them think this mission would be just as easy. Only Lian knew that this mission was going to be a catastrophe for them. The vast majority of people were going to die here. Just then, Zhao Zhangzi heard a sound. He turned to look and saw Huang Yangmin shouting. He was declaring that he was here to be his subordinate. Faced with Zhao Zhangzi's confused expression, Huang Yangmin explained that he wanted to join his faction and would follow Zhao Zhangzi's lead. Even Zhao Zhangzi was surprised. Still, taking on a new subordinate didn't seem to have any downsides for him. Seeing this, the others all came to the same conclusion. This guy is an incredible suck-up. From the side, Lian watched with a mocking smile. Just as the crowd was growing restless, an angel descended before their eyes. This mission is also very simple. Then, a system window appeared in front of everyone. 4,900 people will participate in the mission to protect the Holy Stone for 3 hours. Just then, a player screamed in terror. This mission is wrong. The system must have made a mistake. The angel savored the look of terror on the humans' faces. There is no mistake with this mission. This time, 75% of the players will be eliminated, because the rule is, in each round, half the players will be eliminated. Since all of you survived the last round safely, according to the rules, only 1/4 of you can survive this round. The originally relaxed atmosphere instantly grew tense. Goblins will pour out from the town's 4 main gates, and their goal is to destroy the sacred stone in the center. All of you must unite to protect the sacred stone for 3 hours. If the sacred stone is shattered, then you will face a severe punishment. Also, I should mention, regardless of whether you succeed in defending it or not, rewards will be distributed based on the number of monsters killed. In each round, the number of monsters will be double that of the humans. At this, Zhao Zhangzi wore a smug expression. With the power of a representative, he could kill even more monsters. Suddenly, Zhao Zhangzi heard the angel call his name. The angel said there was one more thing to tell them. If a representative is killed by a monster or dies of natural causes, then the representative position will become vacant. However, if they are killed by a player, the person who killed them will become the new regional representative. The next moment, countless pairs of eyes were staring at Zhao Zhangzi. His scalp tingled with fear. He then started cursing out the angel. It was clear that he had now become the target for the vast majority of people. Zhao Zhangzi wanted to scare the crowd away, but they already knew the effect of his skill. They weren't the least bit afraid of him. Just as everyone was about to make their move, Black Scythe stepped forward. Zhao Zhangzi knew very well that if Black Scythe were to make a move, he wouldn't stand a chance of fighting back. But Black Scythe simply said, "We can make a deal." As Zhao Zhangzi wondered what kind of deal it was, Black Scythe began to speak. "As long as you agree, then I will protect you in this round." Hearing this, Zhao Zhangzi was a bit stunned. Even the surrounding players looked on in disbelief. If they had to face Black Scythe, they wouldn't have any confidence at all. "What are your conditions?" "My conditions are actually quite simple. That is, to obey me. Absolute obedience to my commands." Zhao Zhangzi didn't understand why he was willing to protect him. What would he need to command him to do? He didn't want to obey Black Scythe. But the people around him were eyeing him like predators, and his own pride wouldn't allow him to bow his head. "Well, please tell me your decision." Black Scythe already knew what his decision would be. His pride would never allow him to bow his head. "I refuse." To think he would refuse just for the sake of his pride. "Then from now on, your life or death has nothing to do with me." He then turned and walked away. Seeing this, the crowd was already eager to make their move. And just at that moment, a notification sounded. The first wave of monsters is approaching. At this, everyone scattered and began to fight, surrounding the sacred stone. In this battle, Zhao Zhangzi understood that he had no friends. Just as he was about to act alone, he turned his head and saw Black Scythe standing by himself. He then started following behind Black Scythe. That was the direction of the eastern monster entrance. Does he intend to fight a whole horde by himself? The next moment, a look of terror appeared on Zhao Zhangzi's face. The number of goblins behind the gate was far greater than he had ever imagined. He immediately turned and ran back. When he reached the rooftop of a tall building, he happened to see Black Scythe standing before the east gate as countless goblins surged forward, one wave after another. It was a terrifying sight. But Black Scythe just gently swung his scythe. Hundreds of goblins were sent flying. Zhao Zhangzi couldn't believe what he was seeing. This wasn't a defense. It was a complete one-sided slaughter by Black Scythe. "I need to level up in secret." He then easily finished off a goblin with one slash. A goblin that tried to ambush him from behind was also killed with a single punch. He gloated inwardly. "Luckily, my rune is for detection," but right at that moment, A whooshing sound shot past my ear as I narrowly dodged the attack. I turned to look. It was an arrow. Those bastards, they're still watching me. Suddenly, someone from behind lunged at Zhao Zhangzi with a spear. Rage boiled inside Zhao Zhangzi as he gripped the spear tightly. He finished the attacker in a single blow. But just then, another hidden arrow came for him. He whipped his head around, saw the ambusher, and hurled his spear. After taking out the ambushing archer, Zhao Zhangzi was already starting to regret becoming the area representative. He scanned his surroundings. He needed to find someone strong to control. He frantically scanned the area. That's the one. The player currently ranked 3rd in the area. The next moment, the symbol of authority above Zhao Zhangzi's head began to glow. You will serve me now. Meanwhile, Black Scythe's attack speed was becoming terrifyingly fast. When he opened his status window, in just half an hour, he had already earned 2,000 gold coins from the monsters. At this rate, he'd be able to buy a new skill by the second wave. He saw he was about to reach level 20. Behind him, a goblin was slowly creeping up, preparing for a sneak attack. Black Scythe would never let his guard down in a fight. With a single horizontal sweep, he slaughtered every monster within several meters. Seeing this, the surrounding goblins began to recoil in fear. Black Scythe wasn't about to let walking experience and gold get away. A moment later, a notification popped up. Wave D defense successful. Only 3,933 players remained. Black Scythe gazed at the field of corpses. So he's still alive. He's pretty tough. Right now, Zhao Zhangzi was at his breaking point. Every single moment, he not only had to fend off the monster's attacks, but also watch out for ambushes from other players. Luckily, he had used his authority to control other players and force them to protect him. It was only because of this that he managed to survive Wave D. Zhao Zhangzi hadn't used his authority on Huang Yangmin. And yet, Huang Yangmin was still fighting desperately to protect him. Just then, another alert sounded. Second wave of monsters is approaching. Quantity: 7,866. Meanwhile, Black Scythe was still guarding the east gate alone, mechanically slaughtering goblins. Before long, he leveled up to 20 and acquired an exclusive Reaper skill. It could be combined with his Knight of Death and Reaper rune to become even more powerful. Looking at the goblins swarming in again, he thought, perfect. I'll test my new skill on you. When Knight of Death activated, all the goblins were plunged into a state of blindness. And Black Scythe became a true Reaper, ruthlessly and indiscriminately slaughtering the goblins. Clearly, Black Scythe was very satisfied with the result. He then opened the shop. He spent 20,000 to purchase the universal skill, Detection. When he activated it, Black Scythe could clearly sense that there was no one within a 300-meter radius. Time continued to slip by. Before long, the final wave had arrived. Zhao Zhangzi had also used up all 10 charges of his authority. And at that moment, everyone was filled with terror. Because the monsters in the final wave numbered 4 times the amount of surviving players. What was even more despairing was that 1,225 people had to survive to complete the mission. And just then, everyone became even more desperate to kill Zhao Zhangzi. If they could get his authority during this wave, they would be guaranteed to survive this round. As the pawns around Zhao Zhangzi dwindled, he had no choice but to seize the opportunity to run for his life. Without a moment's hesitation, he bolted towards the east gate. He regretted not accepting Black Scythe's offer. Soon, he was standing before him. He screamed, I accept your conditions. Whatever you ask, I'll agree to everything. But Black Scythe just said calmly, I told you, whether you live or die has nothing to do with me anymore. Hearing this, Zhao Zhangzi sank into despair. I was willing to become your subordinate. Why are you rejecting me now? But Black Scythe's words sent Zhao Zhangzi into utter despair. You've lost your power. You're useless to me. Zhao Zhangzi, you really dug your own grave. I was actually worried about what I'd do if Black Scythe saved you. At this point, Zhao Zhangzi was at his wit's end, screaming, whoever comes near me, I'm taking you down with me. Just then, Huang Yangmin stepped out from the crowd. Seeing him, Zhao Zhangzi was ecstatic. Quick, help me. But Huang Yangmin took advantage of the opening and struck him directly. Looking down at the man on the ground, Huang Yangmin tore off his mask of pretense. He then pulled Zhao Zhangzi up and began brutally punching him in the face, over and over again. Huang Yangmin beat Zhao Zhangzi to death with his bare fists. Just then, a window prompt announced that Huang Yangmin had become the new area representative. Having become the area representative, Huang Yangmin started fantasizing. He wanted to completely control Shu Alan and make her serve him. All eyes were fixed on Huang Yangmin, everyone wishing they could just kill him on the spot. But Huang Yangmin's face showed no trace of fear. Under everyone's stares, he ran off to the side. Huang Yangmin ran to Black Scythe, declaring that he was now the area representative. I'm valuable to you. I want to be your subordinate. But Black Scythe simply stated, whether you become my subordinate or not doesn't really matter to me. You're the one begging me right now. So, you will kneel. Only then will I even consider your request. Huang Yangmin understood. If he refused, the people behind him would kill him without a second thought. In the next moment, Huang Yangmin made his decision. I beg you, please let me become your subordinate. looking at the man in front of him. All the humiliation I suffered. I'll make you pay it all back. Watching this unfold, Black Scythe grew even more disgusted. I will protect you, as long as you obey me, Black Scythe said, slowly walking forward. If you don't want to die by my hand, get out of here. With Black Scythe's protection, they had no way of killing Huang Yangmin. Realizing this, the crowd wisely began to back away and leave. Huang Yangmin was astounded. With just a single sentence, Black Scythe had struck fear into everyone. However, Black Scythe was currently scanning the area, calculating the progress of the current stage. He could easily clear this round of the game, but Black Scythe felt it would be a shame to end it just like that. Black Scythe turned to Huang Yangmin and ordered, use your power to control 10 humans and have them destroy the sacred stone. He had wanted to save one use of his power for Shu Alan, so he tried to negotiate with Black Scythe. Could you possibly let me save just one use for myself? But Black Scythe's response was, you have no right to bargain with me. And with that, Black Scythe listed 10 names. Hearing this, Huang Yangmin was shocked, because every single one of his friends was on that list. Murmuring, I'm sorry, Huang Yangmin took control of all of them in the next instant. They then mindlessly began to attack the sacred stone, as the crowd around them screamed, are you all insane? The moment the sacred stone shattered, a prompt announced, main quest failed. Another prompt made everyone even more terrified, the divine punishment agent is about to descend. But Black Scythe's face was filled with excitement, because he knew. This was the hidden mission for the third round. But what no one expected, was that breaking the sacred stone would actually reduce all of their stats by 50%. Was this why Black Scythe didn't do it himself? But when everyone saw the mission's reward, they decided it was all worth it. They fantasized that all they had to do was survive for 30 minutes. However, the difficulty of the divine punishment agent was extreme. In his past life, only a little over 300 people survived this round. Even someone like Black Scythe wasn't 100% confident. What Black Scythe had to do now was buy gear and enchant all of it with extra crystal attributes. The next moment, a violent windstorm engulfed the entire town, making it look like the end of the world. Everyone began to sink into self-doubt. Black Scythe murmured from the side, so, it's finally here. The next moment, a crack tore open across the entire sky. Black Scythe thought of himself as the one destined to kill an angel. His skills had a 100% damage boost against angels. At that moment, the sky shattered completely. An incomparably holy figure appeared before the crowd. Everyone had assumed a massive horde of monsters was about to attack. If it was just one god, they thought they might have a chance to survive. Everyone breathed another sigh of relief. The divine Punisher D moved forward slowly. Then, it raised the angelic scepter in its hand and lightly tapped the ground. Before everyone's eyes, a pale purple curtain of light spread out in all directions. The blinding radiance made it impossible for anyone to open their eyes. In the next instant, the entire town was completely surrounded. The divine Punisher D unleashed its divine Z domain. Under the domain's influence, all players' attributes were reduced by 50%. Seeing this, the crowd had no way to escape the town's center. Black Scythe found it deeply regrettable. 300 people were trapped within the divine Z domain. Black Scythe had no way to get in and save them. He could only watch as the divine Punisher D raised its staff. Countless arrows of radiant light flew towards the people inside the domain. The skill's range covered a 300-meter area. It was a slaughter with no blind spots. As the people inside struggled to resist, Black Scythe, who was outside the domain, began to make his move. When a hunter is on the prowl, they often completely ignore what's behind them. As the last person inside the domain fell, the domain dissipated along with them. And this was the exact moment Black Scythe had been waiting for. He leapt into the air. But at that moment, the divine Punisher D did not sense the approaching danger. The next second, the Reaper's mark appeared above the Punisher's head. Damage bonus, 120%. The strike landed perfectly. Black Scythe was also thrown back several meters by the divine aura. The moment he landed, Black Scythe didn't hesitate for a single second. He continued to dash to the side. That attack had depleted 40% of the Punisher's health. Moreover, the previous strike had already destroyed one of its eyes. It must be thinking of using its domain to control my movements now. But the moment the divine Z domain descended, it couldn't lock onto Black Scythe's figure at all. Instead, Black Scythe seized the opening as the domain retracted, exploding forward with incredible speed. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of the Punisher. But Black Scythe's goal wasn't to launch a ferocious attack. It was to take the divine Punisher D's other eye. Just as Black Scythe was about to land, the sound of the divine Z domain expanding and his attributes dropping filled his ears, but there wasn't a trace of panic on Black Scythe's face. Because he knew that now, the divine Punisher was as good as blind. It could only blindly unleash its radiant arrows in a wide area attack. And all I have to do is stand in the attack's primary blind spot. And I don't need to worry about it sensing my presence. Because the divine Punisher has no ears. Now, it's time for the hunt. This next strike has to finish it completely. At that moment, Black Scythe was launching a sneak attack from behind. The death scythe slashed out with incredible speed. Black Scythe could only slowly whittle down the Divine Punisher's strength. The Divine Punisher D felt the pain in its back and struck behind it with a staff imbued with holy power. Every one of the Punisher's moves was within Black Scythe's predictions. While still in the air, Black Scythe struck again. The angel's wings, its only means of sensing enemies, had already been completely severed by him. Then, without a moment's hesitation, Black Scythe rapidly retreated. As he fell back, he checked the Divine Punisher D's health. It had already dropped to 10%. At this moment, the Divine Punisher D was trembling uncontrollably. How dare a mere human lay a hand on it? The next moment, the Divine Punisher gripped its staff tightly, murmuring an incantation. Its staff then erupted with an endless brilliance. Black Scythe was incredibly relieved that he had destroyed its eyes and wings beforehand. Having lost its ability to perceive, the Divine Punisher D could only swing its staff blindly, sealing off all space within a 300-meter radius, and was unleashing a dimensional attack that covered the entire area. Black Scythe stared at the Divine Punishment lightning on the ground. He knew that even a single hit would be fatal. The staff continued to summon lightning bolts. Looking at the Divine Punishment, the swirling airflow around Agent D's feet indicated that the power of radiance was active, an invincibility buff that lasted for 30 seconds. Facing the Divine Punishment Agent D, Black Scythe calculated the remaining time on the invincibility buff. The moment the time ran out, a notification brought a triumphant smile to Black Scythe's face. The invincibility skill had ended. Black Scythe seized the opportunity, rushing toward the Divine Punishment Agent D at incredible speed. Because only Black Scythe knew that after the Divine Punishment Agent's skill ended, there was a 3-second window of weakness. The bloody power of the Death God covered his scythe, and with a sound of slicing through the air, it severed the Divine Punishment Agent D's head. Countless level-up notifications echoed in his ears, and then one important announcement resounded throughout the entire world. God's agent has been slain. You have obtained the title, Opponent of the Gods. The title reduced damage from holy attacks by 80%, and this was the main reason Black Scythe had killed the Divine Punishment Agent V. The Heart of a God. The Heart of a God could greatly enhance the power of the Death God. Besides that, this item was another reason he had to be killed. It was something that only gods possessed. And that was the Godhead, a synthesis material for God-tier items. The Heart of a God was also a radiant rune, which could massively boost his own Death God power. This series of rewards was even more surprising than Black Scythe had anticipated. Once they recovered from their shock, the crowd erupted in cheers. They couldn't believe that Black Scythe had killed a god all by himself, and his immense power made the crowd fear him even more. Just then, the voice of an angel rang out from the heavens. Are you truly human? This is the first time a human has slain one of God's executors. Black Scythe, however, paid the angel little attention. Seeing this, the angel had no choice but to awkwardly fly down in front of Black Scythe and ask softly, how did you manage to kill the Divine Punishment Agent D? Black Scythe sighed softly, what a foolish question. He then added, I just didn't want him to kill me, that's all. The angel slowly replied, if that were the case, you could have easily dodged him for half an hour. Why go through all the trouble of killing him? As cold-blooded as I am, I still couldn't bear to watch him slaughter humans in front of me. Hearing this, the angel seemed to finally understand. The crowd nearby was surprised to hear this, not expecting the seemingly ruthless Black Scythe to be so kind-hearted. At that moment, the angel announced that the mission was complete. But the angel's next words filled the crowd with terror. Because the Divine Punishment Agent was killed, the number of survivors has not yet reached the required amount. We will proceed with erasure based on the overall rankings. As he spoke, the kill ranking appeared before everyone's eyes. To no one's surprise, Black Scythe still occupied the top spot on the leaderboard. He then received the exclusive reward for first place, a ring of limitation, which allowed him to choose one ring. Use limited to normal grade and above. Black Scythe chose the resistance ring without hesitation, because no matter how high his stats were, being chain controlled by abnormal status effects would be overwhelming. He looked at the reward window in front of him. Third, as expected, there was no triple experience. Black Scythe needed more gold to buy skills. Just then, the angel's low voice rang out. You all know your rankings now, don't you? All humans ranked below 1225 will be erased. Upon hearing this, the crowd fell into a panic, desperately wanting to escape this place. The angel, on the other hand, seemed to thoroughly enjoy this moment of slaughter, a smile spreading across his face. In the next moment, the bodies of the humans who didn't meet the requirement slowly began to dissipate. Then, a crisp notification sounded. The number of survivors has reached 1225. Everyone's vision went black, and their consciousness slowly returned to the real world. Everyone's consciousness returned to reality. At that moment, Shu Allen woke with a start. She was incredibly grateful that she had survived. In the third round, she had obtained a hidden class, Summoner. Looking at the summoned beast that appeared before her, Shu Allen was overjoyed. If it weren't for this little guy, I would have died in the third round. She looked at the rewards in her inventory. Can't believe I got third place. This is a reward I earned all by myself. I wonder if Hei-Lian would like it if I gave it to him? Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Huang Yangmin was absolutely furious. Hei-Lian had used him, and even lowered his stats by 50%. Huang Yangmin secretly swore an oath that he would kill Hei-Lian. Early the next morning, and Xianxia arrived at the building. While reporting on the situation, he informed Ma Tinlu that this round, Hei-Lian was, surprisingly, still the #1 ranked player. I've come to report information about Hei-Lian, and also to let you know that Shu Alan has changed her class. Her class is unique, she's a summoner. I never even imagined she could become a summoner. Hearing this, Ma Tinlu was delighted. It seemed she would be of great value in the future. He then said, you need to maintain a close relationship with Shu Alan. I don't even care if you two start dating. I need you to help me keep her firmly under my control. Xianxia didn't know Ma Tinlu's true intentions, but he still replied. We will always be loyal to you. On another note, I have a rather urgent matter to report. It's about Hei-Lian. He single-handedly killed the Divine Punishment Administrator. It was as if he knew exactly how to kill the Divine Punishment Administrator. Hearing this, Ma Tinlu fell into deep thought. Continue to observe this mysterious man, and do your best to recruit him. I've tried to get close to him before, but Hei-Lian is far too powerful. He doesn't need anyone's help at all. At this, Ma Tinlu fell silent. He then said not to antagonize him for now. Then, changing the subject. You said you had something else to report. What is it? A few days ago, a mysterious person bought a massive amount of the group's stock. An amount so large that they can now participate in the group's decision-making. Ma Tinlu couldn't understand. It was just a newly established virtual world company, and all the young people in the world had entered the angel game. He had originally planned to take this opportunity to make a quick buck, but he never expected that someone would be willing to invest over 200 billion. Then, Ma Tinlu spoke. Help me arrange a call with the investor. Ma Tinlu was extremely curious. What kind of person would be willing to invest that much money? Meanwhile, back home, Hei-Lian looked at his phone, muttering, I should be getting the call any minute now. Just then, his younger brother burst in. The boy shouted, asking what level Hei-Lian was in the angel game. Apparently, his brother's classmate's older brother had already reached level 11 and even changed class. He had been mocking his little brother. Hei-Lian thought to himself, if I tell him the truth, it will cause a huge problem. So he said, don't worry, I've already reached level 12. And I've successfully changed my class, too. Hearing this, his younger brother thought, wow, my brother really is stronger. But no matter how much his brother asked, Hei-Lian refused to reveal what class he'd changed to. His brother could only wisely drop the subject and leave. At that very moment, his phone rang. Right on schedule, he thought. The call had finally come. Since you have become a shareholder in our group, I felt I should call to offer my greetings. If there's an opportunity, I would very much like to meet you in person. Hei-Lian looked at his phone. Let's meet next Saturday. The reason Hei-Lian set the meeting for Saturday was because on Friday, he would obtain the rune of inner thought. That way, he would know Ma Tinlu's thoughts completely. Now, what I need to do is complete the prerequisites for the rune. The first thing the man did upon his return was go to a rundown warehouse. He went there because he knew this was his crucial chance to obtain the rune. Runes were of the utmost importance in the angel game. Everyone knew that runes could be obtained during the designated game rounds. They could also be found on bosses, and there was even an extremely small chance of getting one from ordinary monsters. But what no one knew was that runes could also be obtained in the real world. Because his younger brother was kidnapped in his past life, the man wanted to get all the information he knew. But Black Scythe didn't understand what he meant. It turned out the man possessed the mind rune. He knew that Black Scythe was a so-called regressor, and he needed to get all the information Black Scythe had about the angel game. Upon learning this, Black Scythe was extremely shocked. In the end, Black Scythe had died dozens of times. Only then was he able to successfully rescue his younger brother, and it was during that time that he learned how to obtain runes. This time, he would get the rune before that man. Just then, Black Scythe's expression hardened. He saw the man slowly walking towards the warehouse. He then threw the captured woman to the ground. By now, the woman was too terrified to move. She didn't understand how she could have offended him, but right now, all she could do was beg for mercy. But the man had no intention of letting her go, and he declared, "This is what you get for looking down on me. You will pay the price you deserve." It turned out the man had acquired the luminous rune in the angel game. But after getting the rune, the man used its power to seek out young women and make his move. Using the ability of the luminous rune, he would cause his target to be temporarily blinded. He would then commit a series of despicable acts. One day, the man went to a coffee shop. Looking at the female employee before him, a strange smile crept across his face. He then said that he was a regular at the coffee shop, but it was his first time seeing her. The woman explained that she had just started working there, as the previous young employees had all quit because of the angel game. No one wanted to keep working when they could die at any moment. The man stared at the woman in front of him. The more he looked, the more he liked her, so he spoke up and asked to take her to a bar for some fun. The woman was very surprised to hear this and had a troubled look on her face. It was that very look that completely enraged the man. He believed the woman was looking down on him. He was determined to make anyone who disrespected him pay the price. He ambushed the woman on her way home from work and captured her. "I hate the way you look at me. It's filled with disgust." He then pushed the woman down, and just as he was about to make his move, Black Scythe appeared nearby. Black Scythe spoke slowly. "Move one more step, and you die right now." Man was startled by the sudden voice. He was just about to start cursing. But when he saw Black Scythe's appearance, he froze instantly. A Black Scythe. This must be one of Black Scythe's die-hard fans. Are you trying to imitate Black Scythe with that prop? Did you say this is a prop? With just a casual swing, the man felt a powerful aura. "You're a player? Could it be? You're the real Black Scythe?" But Black Scythe didn't answer. He simply said, "You can go now." Of course, the man wasn't willing to let the woman go so easily. Seeing this, Black Scythe instantly vanished from his spot, rushing toward the man at an incredible speed. But this attack didn't cut him directly. Instead, he used the other end of the scythe. The man was caught completely off guard by the blow. "Are you still not leaving?" Snapping back to her senses, the woman didn't want to stay there a second longer. "I have a score to settle with you." But the man's reaction was also very fast. He pulled out a dagger and lunged toward Black Scythe. But in Black Scythe's eyes, his speed. It was ridiculously slow. But looking at the dagger in the man's hand, "You actually brought out a goblin dagger? Still, you're way too slow." Then, with a simple upward swing of the scythe, the man stared in disbelief. In Black Scythe's hands, he was as weak as an infant. "Does it hurt? I'm just getting started." He then glared viciously at Black Scythe. But to the man's utter disbelief, all that was left of Black Scythe in front of him was an afterimage. Just as the man was searching everywhere for Black Scythe, an incredibly fast flash appeared. Now, the man's face was filled with nothing but terror. "At this rate, I'm going to die by his hand. I have to use the light rune. As long as Black Scythe is affected by my skill, then I'll have a chance to escape." A brilliant light was about to erupt. But in the next moment, the light rune was instantly nullified. At this moment, the man truly panicked. His one and only hope was gone just like that. Why is this happening? Isn't it strange? Why can't your rune activate? You see, before I even came into this warehouse, I activated the Night of Death skill. Within its range, no light is permitted to exist. Without the slightest hesitation, Black Scythe charged in to kill the man. Seeing the approaching scythe, the man's body couldn't react at all. "Do you want to know why I have to kill you?" In the man's eyes, Black Scythe was now a demon. The man desperately wanted to know why. But Black Scythe clearly had no intention of letting him know so easily. He raised the death scythe, and began to torture the man endlessly. In truth, all of this was a prerequisite to obtain a rune. Little did he know, in the man's eyes, Black Scythe was just a complete and utter demon, enjoying the process of slaughter. Soon, the man had collapsed on the floor. His heart-wrenching screams echoed. "Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Just let me die. I really can't take it anymore. Just let me kill myself." "Oh, I can't let you die that easily," Black Scythe said, showing no sign of stopping. By now, the man had given up. He truly wished he could die immediately. "Black Scythe, I'm begging you, just kill me. You still don't know why I'm doing this to you, do you? Right now, we are complete strangers. But we've actually met a long time ago, Zhang Shihong. You know my name? Are you here for that woman from earlier? It has nothing to do with her. It's just that, in the future, you kidnapped my younger brother. You even threatened me to hand over all the information on the angel game. Of course, this is all something your future self will do. And the reason I came to kill you is, more importantly, if I didn't come, you would obtain the thought rune. This warehouse hides a rare rune, and the condition for its appearance is to hear a person's true inner thoughts. They must be true, sincere, inner thoughts. And your desire to die is, at this moment, your most genuine and true thought. But then again, even if there wasn't a thought rune, I would still kill you. Because you already have over 20 crimes to your name. Since I'm so deserving of death, then hurry up and kill me. I don't want to be tortured anymore." But Black Scythe wasn't planning on killing him right away. The man didn't understand. "Because I need to conduct an experiment. Doesn't he want to get the rune? Doesn't he need to hear my true thoughts? Then why won't he let me speak?" Black Scythe said he had already obtained the rune, right when you were sincerely begging me to kill you. "The rune reacted to your true feelings, so I have acquired it. The rune has activated automatically. It can read the minds of anyone within a 30-meter radius." Just as Black Scythe thought, the man now only wanted to die. Before long, the man died from excessive blood loss. Black Scythe immediately used his erasure skill, wiping away all the surrounding bloodstains and traces. Black Scythe had gotten the rune he wanted. So tomorrow, he should go and meet Ma Tinlu. Black Scythe prepared to meet Ma Tinlu, but when his younger brother saw this, he looked very concerned. "Are you going on a date?" Black Scythe glanced at the time. "Today is just a very important meeting. This will affect the course of the future." Seeing his brother's worried expression, Black Scythe comforted him. "You have to remember, I'm a player. There are very few people in the world right now who can hurt me. It turned out his brother's worries were not unfounded. Ever since the players returned from the Angel game, more and more ability users had started turning to crime. His brother was extremely worried that Black Scythe would get hurt. Hearing this, Black Scythe's expression remained unchanged. He had long known how all of this would unfold. With the end of the game, the remaining players would only grow stronger and stronger. It was only natural that superpowered individuals would begin to enslave ordinary civilians. And what Black Scythe had to do was, before the world descended into panic, to gain extraordinary fame and immense power, he needed to possess power so great that other ability users would be forced to submit. Soon, Black Scythe arrived in front of Wool Tower. Black Scythe knew, this tower was Ma Tinlu's secret base. Besides myself, probably only Ma Tinlu's most trusted confidants know this secret. Black Scythe had to act completely innocent. He was going to completely deceive Ma Tinlu. He then walked towards the front desk. This is what the director specifically arranged. You can wait here for a moment. The director will be here shortly. He then pretended to be shy as he thanked the receptionist, even looking around everywhere. Acting like someone who had never seen the world. This was all an act for Ma Tinlu, who was watching from the side. Then, Xianxia came up to Black Scythe and said he was in utter disbelief. Because you look like you're only in your early 20s. I can't believe you're the one who invested 280 billion. I truly admire your boldness. Black Scythe understood. Ma Tinlu had sent this man to test him. And Black Scythe put on a naive act. This act also dispelled Xianxia's suspicions, and he immediately went to report to Ma Tinlu. He said that the man was completely naive and not a threat at all. This was exactly the result Black Scythe wanted. With his mind-reading rune, Black Scythe knew their thoughts clearly. And just at that moment, Ma Tinlu appeared before Black Scythe. He said that he was very happy to meet him, while Black Scythe acted flustered and awkward. Ma Tinlu said he was sorry for making him wait and that he had a 6-star chef prepare a full feast as an apology. We can eat while we talk. Seeing this, Black Scythe didn't hold back. He started gobbling down the food like a starving man. Ma Tinlu thought to himself, he's too young. He can't be the investor. Who is supporting him from behind the scenes? No matter who it is, I will find a way to drag them out. Then, Ma Tinlu spoke. You look very young, only about 20 years old. What made you decide to invest so much money in our company? You must be a young and successful heir from a wealthy family. But Black Scythe quickly denied it. I was just a student before this. If you've seen the news, you'll know I just got lucky and won the lottery, Black Scythe said. It was the news about a student who won 15 super grand prizes overnight and became a billionaire worth tens of billions. So, ever since then, I've really believed in my own luck. But Ma Tinlu still couldn't believe it, because he saw in the news that the prize was 60 billion. So how did you manage to invest that into a total of 280 billion? He Lian already knew Ma Tinlu would ask this and explained that he also got into gambling. That's how he managed to acquire so much capital. It's truly unbelievable. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't have the guts to gamble with 60 billion. Xianxia, who was beside them, also commented, you must be a very lucky person. But He Lian suddenly became very serious. This wasn't the result of luck. Because I am a prophet, I can know what's going to happen 3 days from now. But upon hearing this, Ma Tinlu was unwilling to believe it. The claim of being a prophet was just too shocking. Facing Ma Tinlu's skepticism, He Lian said, I have no reason to deceive you. It's because I have the power to see the future that I was able to acquire so much money. I want to believe you, but, can I ask you to prove it? Predict something I'm going to do in the future. He Lian refused Ma Tinlu's request. He explained that this rune wasn't something he could control, because it activates passively. Ma Tinlu had expected He Lian's refusal. A rune that powerful, must have some restrictions on its use. Suddenly, Ma Tinlu, who had been calm, became flustered. Wait, did you invest in our company because you saw the future? He Lian gave an affirmative reply. He said that in the future, TMO company would grow extremely quickly, becoming one of the biggest companies in the country within 6 months. And it will also become the guild with the most players in the country. Hearing this, Ma Tinlu couldn't help but feel a surge of joy. Because everything he was doing was to earn his father's approval. But He Lian's next sentence made Ma Tinlu's expression freeze. If you want to be even more successful, you have to change the company's current direction. Hearing this, Xianxia immediately shot to his feet. Are you serious? You want to change the company's business direction? I'm not just talking about the business direction. Even the company's name needs to be changed. You're both players, aren't you? You know there's a huge penalty for carelessly revealing your own rune. Since I'm taking a risk by telling you about mine, it's not just to have a simple meal with you. As your business partner, I must now be involved in the company's management. Ma Tinlu thought it over. And Xianxia, however, completely disagreed with He Lian's decision. Seeing this, He Lian's voice grew heavy. If I wasn't sure about this, why would I have invested in your company? Besides, you're still worried about whether I really have a future seeing rune, right? Well, do you know why I moved into the apartment below yours? And Xianxia looked shocked. You mean, you started preparing way back then? Ma Tinlu looked confused, so Xianxia explained. Apparently, Lian had moved in downstairs from him several months ago. When Ma Tinlu heard this, he was certain that Lian had started laying his plans months ago. This man had to know what the future holds. Looking at Ma Tinlu's expression, Lian knew he was starting to believe him. But he needed Ma Tinlu's unconditional trust, and this alone wasn't enough. Lian spoke slowly. This hotel is your secret base. And you're the eldest son of the 5-star family. You only started this company to earn your father's recognition. Before Ma Tinlu could even react, and Xianxia cried out, "Who are you? That information is top secret." Ma Tinlu looked at Lian without saying a word. "To be honest," he said, "now I'm starting to suspect you. Because this isn't exactly a secret within my family. I suspect one of my brothers sent you. I have no way of proving you weren't sent by one of them, so I can't agree to your proposal. I'm very sorry. I can't commit to something I'm not certain about." Black Scythe had to get Ma Tinlu's support. It seemed he'd have to use his trump card. "If you doubt my identity, then I can tell you information about the 4th round of the angel game." Hearing this, Ma Tinlu instantly shot to his feet. "You really know about the angel game? Of course. This should be enough to prove my identity." A short while later, Black Scythe left the building. It's here. The 4th round of the angel game is finally starting. But to everyone's absolute shock, the 4th round of the game turned out to be a battle to the death between the players. Furthermore, only players ranked in the top 521 would survive, but the rules for the ranking system remained an unsolvable mystery. Just a moment ago, Shu Allen had found Black Scythe. This purple crystal was her mission reward from the 3rd round. "To thank you for your help." Black Scythe accepted it without hesitation. Black Scythe couldn't help but think that if she knew the true value of this stone, she probably wouldn't have given it to him. Just then, Shu Allen asked Black Scythe again if he needed a protective shield, as she had changed her class to a summoner. Black Scythe refused her kind offer. As far as he was concerned, there was no one who could stand against him right now. Shu Allen then said her goodbyes, but Black Scythe's mind was already set on Huang Yangmin. Because only Black Scythe understood that this round's hidden mission revolved around the regional representatives. At that moment, Huang Yangmin was also looking around frantically, and without hesitation, he approached Black Scythe. He asked if Black Scythe remembered their agreement from the last round, reminding him that he had promised to protect him. But Black Scythe simply replied, "What is there about you now that's worth my protection? I can keep other players from targeting you, but in exchange, you need to offer something of value," Black Scythe stated. "A moment ago, Shu Allen gave me a purple gem as a thank you gift for my help. If you have a similar stone, then I can offer you my protection for this round as well." Hearing this, Huang Yangmin hurriedly opened his backpack, saying that he didn't have a purple stone. "But I do have a black one. Will this be enough to earn your protection in the new round?" Black Scythe gave him an affirmative answer and declared, "Anyone who makes a move on you will be my enemy." And at that very moment, the angel descended again, an excited look on its face. It announced the rules for this game. The rules this time are very simple. It's a free-for-all. Only players who rank in the top 521 will survive. In other words, there are no restrictions this round. All you have to do is kill each other. Hearing this, the crowd was plunged into fear. It looked like everyone around them was now an enemy. The angel then added maliciously, "Only Black Scythe knows the difference between 521 people and ranked 521. And only Black Scythe understood that the angel itself was nothing more than a puppet being controlled. The next moment, the angel announced the start of the game. Most of the players were still in a daze. "It's starting already? We have to kill each other now?" But at his side, Huang Yangmin wore a smug smile. He was relieved he had sought Black Scythe's protection, because based on his current abilities, there was no way he could protect himself in this fight. The next instant, Black Scythe suddenly appeared right beside Huang Yangmin. Huang Yangmin jumped, startled. He didn't understand why Black Scythe had come to him now. But Black Scythe spoke, "I said I'd keep you from becoming someone else's target, right? I'm just here to keep my promise." He then summoned the Reaper's Scythe. In the next instant, Huang Yangmin was killed. At the same time, a notification sounded. Hidden mission activated. Kill a regional representative to earn a card draw reward. You have gained a qualification to draw for a magic stone. You have completed the submission. Item obtained. Magic card. Effect. Randomly draw 1 to 5 spells. Looking at the series of prompts, these were the exact items he needed. But Black Scythe's act of killing Huang Yangmin made everyone around him accuse him of being a murderer. However, an announcement silenced the crowd. Black Scythe had become the new regional representative. The same people who had been accusing Black Scythe now couldn't get far enough away from him. They were terrified he would use his new authority to control them. Suddenly, the crowd noticed Black Scythe's name had turned red, but he didn't seem panicked at all. Because in a killing round like this, the more people you kill, the deeper the color of your name becomes. Everyone looked at Black Scythe and finally made a decision. They would team up to kill him. In their eyes, Black Scythe was just a murderer. But then, the supposedly dead Huang Yangmin suddenly came back to life. No one could understand what was happening, but after a moment, it dawned on them. It seemed that players who died in this round could be revived, and our rankings were based on the points from our kill count. The next moment, the once harmonious crowd started slaughtering each other. Seeing this, Black Scythe no longer hesitated. With a casual strike, he instantly created a vacuum in the area around him. Seeing this, the others exchanged glances. If they could be revived, they could ambush Black Scythe without hesitation. In no time, the number of people around had dropped by 70 to 80%. In just a short while, Black Scythe had already racked up thousands of points from his kills. Just then, one player caught Black Scythe's attention. He was a man known as the Fire Dragon Warrior. He possessed the Absorption Rune. With this rune, every time he killed an enemy, his own stats would increase. It was as if this game was tailor-made for him. Thanks to the Absorption Rune, the man's stats had increased dramatically. The higher the level of the player he killed, the bigger the stat bonus he received. The man started to fantasize that if he killed Black Scythe, he would surely gain a massive amount of stats. But he quickly dismissed the thought, because his instincts told him that he must not, under any circumstances, provoke Black Scythe. So, the man continued killing other players without stopping. Seeing this, Black Scythe didn't act immediately. He just stood there, watching coldly. In just a little while, all the other players had fallen into despair. It was then that Black Scythe slowly walked toward the man. Seeing him approach, the man was on high alert, but Black Scythe delivered just a single, simple blow. In just an instant, the man couldn't believe what happened, not even in his wildest dreams. He was completely crushed. In a massive battle royale with thousands of people, Black Scythe, all by himself, had slain thousands, powerfully claiming the #1 spot on the regional leaderboard. As the fourth round of the player war began, battles erupted everywhere. Meanwhile, Shu Alan was terrified of the mutual slaughter. As Xianxia tried to comfort her, Shu Alan said she was fine, but Xianxia knew better. As someone with a star's aura, it's hard for her to carry out a killing mission. Suddenly, Xianxia's expression tensed. Someone grabbed Shu Alan, and a dagger viciously stabbed downwards. Xianxia blocked the attack with incredible speed, then raised his longsword, completely disabling his opponent. Then, he looked over at Shu Alan. Xianxia said that to survive, you have to kill. Shu Alan knew that she had to overcome this challenge. After a fierce internal struggle, she gritted her teeth and killed the man in front of her. If it weren't for Ma Tinlu's orders, Xianxia would have abandoned Shu Alan without a second thought. Xianxia said, summoned beast from before should have helped you kill more than 50 people. You can rest for a bit. But inwardly, Xianxia looked down on Shu Alan. She was as weak as a delicate little flower. Having to constantly look after Shu Alan, he figured his own score wasn't high enough yet. He charged into the crowd at incredible speed, just as Black Scythe was cutting down an enemy in front of him. The countdown timer's notification sounded at the same time, but Black Scythe showed no signs of stopping. He even searched all over for different enemies to kill. Black Scythe understood this clearly. The rules for the leaderboard were calculated based on the number of unique individuals killed, not the total number of kills. It's like if one player kills another 100 times, the rules would only count it as one. So, what Black Scythe needed to do wasn't to slaughter indiscriminately, but to find people he hadn't killed before. At that moment, on the other side, Huang Yangmin was repeatedly killing players weaker than himself. Huang Yangmin was counting his kills, full several hundred of them. He was certain he'd get a high rank this time. By his own calculations, the number of people he had killed was far greater than Black Scythe's. Just then, a dark aura swirled around Black Scythe as his scythe swung for the final blow. At the same time, the game over notification sounded. To ensure the count was accurate, angelic shields enveloped everyone. Black Scythe's exhaustion vanished in an instant. The angel standing by announced, now, let's take a look at your combat data. The next moment, everyone who had died was instantly resurrected. A man looked at his resurrected self, then angrily screamed Huang Yangmin's name. During the game, the man had died at Huang Yangmin's hands more than 40 times. Huang Yangmin, looking exceptionally smug, taunted him. At this, the angel felt its authority being challenged. If you continue this racket, I will eliminate you right now. Upon hearing this, the crowd instantly fell silent. Before we see the leaderboard, let's take a look at this round's hidden mission. Then, it summoned a window. Draw a card, bonus prize for killing the area representative within the time limit. Everyone stared at the mission in shock. Is the mission really that simple? It seems like the first person Black Scythe killed was the area representative. Could he have gotten a hint? Huang Yangmin overheard the crowd's murmuring. Only then did he realize that the area representative skill had vanished from his skill bar. He remembered Black Scythe telling him to avoid becoming a target for others. So he saw me as the target all along. While the crowd was buzzing in shock, the angel announced the ranking rules. The moment everyone understood the rules, many players fell into despair. The angel didn't care how desperate they were. With a snap of its fingers, 3, Even the crowd started looking at Black Scythe with growing fear. But the first thing Black Scythe did was claim his mission reward. The angel was very curious, because Black Scythe acted as if he already knew his ranking. But Black Scythe ignored the angel, choosing his reward on his own. Effect: Agility +4. He really needed equipment that could increase 3 types of attack speed. The next choice was a crucial one, because the hidden mission in the next round was going to be very difficult. He had to be 100% prepared. Staring at the rewards on the screen, Black Scythe unhesitatingly chose the 50% attribute bonus. Seeing that Black Scythe was still ignoring it, the angel went ahead and announced everyone's rankings. Anyone ranked below 521 will all be eliminated. The next moment, the lower-ranked players began to dissolve. Countless screams echoed throughout the area. Huang Yangmin looked around frantically at the crowd. Then, a crazed smile spread across his face, because his rank was exactly 521. The surrounding screams and wails were endless. Even Black Scythe couldn't save them. He silently vowed that he would destroy this angel game. He had to save the future of humanity. A notification then appeared. Only 521 people were left in the area. Everyone's soul was about to return to their body. The scene shifted, back in the real world, and Sang Chul rushed to Ma Tinlu's room. Ma Tinlu asked in confusion, "I don't believe I summoned you." And Sang Chul apologized for his recklessness. The 4th round of the game, it was just too difficult. Even though it's a game, its madness is terrifying. Ma Tinlu understood. This game is completely draining. Even as a Dark Knight I'm this exhausted. But what Ma Tinlu was really concerned about was what kind of person Black Scythe really is. Even though I knew the game's content beforehand, the number of players I've killed still can't catch up to him. I absolutely cannot make an enemy of someone like that. Ma Tinlu's thoughts shifted. It seemed he would have to go ask him about this Black Scythe problem. He told me the content of the 4th round before, and I simply couldn't believe it. But as it turns out, everything happened exactly as he predicted. Help me arrange another meeting with him. He's very young, but don't you dare underestimate him just because of his age. And Xianxia understood perfectly well. A prophet like him is just too important. The scene changes. 33,320,000. Black Scythe was already waiting at the supermarket entrance. Su Li was very surprised. Because even after such an intense battle, Black Scythe still seemed full of energy. Black Scythe even said that he was actually exhausted, because he was dreaming about you all night. Su Li clearly didn't expect Black Scythe to be so playful. He seemed different from the boys she remembered. She then spoke up to thank him, because it was thanks to the game information he provided that she was able to survive the 4th round unscathed. But Black Scythe knew that even if he hadn't done anything, she would have survived the 4th round anyway. The two then went to a 5-star restaurant for a meal, but it was clear Zhu Li had no appetite. The scenes from the 4th round wouldn't leave her mind. It was the first time she had ever killed someone. Her whole body was trembling. Black Scythe said, "This is all for the sake of survival." Su Li understood all that, but in her heart, she just couldn't get over it. Black Scythe chided her for being too soft. "Are you going to give up on yourself and make your family suffer? Just think about it. Could your father bear to lose you?" Su Li knew that if she died, her father would also lose his will to live. "Thank you. I will live on, and live better. For the people I love, and for those who love me." After that, the two began to enjoy a leisurely afternoon tea. After a little while, Black Scythe spoke slowly. "The reason we're meeting this time is to tell you about the 5th round." Su Li was stunned. "You can already foresee the details of the 5th round?" Black Scythe explained that the 5th round would be more difficult than all the previous ones. Furthermore, there will be a zone merging event. All of the separate zones will be combined into one. Su Li was thrilled, because this meant she could finally meet Black Scythe in the game. "We'll meet in the next round. To be precise, it will be during the 5th round. The next round's game is extremely difficult." "He's a friend of mine. He will help you survive the next round unscathed." Su Li learned from Black Scythe that the 5th round would be incredibly difficult, so much so that even she herself would have trouble surviving it. Su Li was shocked to hear this, but Black Scythe told her not to worry. "Because in the future I've seen, my friend, Black Scythe, will help you." Su Li looked at him in disbelief. In her eyes, the player Black Scythe was mysterious and immensely powerful. The one who had always held the #1 spot on the leaderboards. She muttered to herself, "Would someone that powerful really need me?" But Black Scythe reassured her, saying, "You have a blessing ability. He will be desperate to work with you." Su Li then stroked his palm, and streams of green energy flowed into Black Scythe's hand. His own luck was also increased to its maximum level. The scene changes. Back at home, Black Scythe eagerly took out a magic card. It was a low-grade magic card. Its effect randomly grants magic stones of a certain grade. Everyone thought this card could only produce low-grade magic stones, but only Black Scythe knew that when one's luck is boosted to the absolute maximum, there's an extremely low chance of getting a D-grade magic stone. Then, he crushed the card in his hand. With a notification sound, 5 God-grade magic stones appeared before Hei Lian's eyes. Even for Lian, this was the first time he'd encountered something like this. He looked utterly shocked. Lian muttered to himself, could this be my luck from my 100th reincarnation? He then opened the synthesis page and combined the God grade gems into a Saint grade 1. In his past life, he failed even when his entire body was equipped with God grade magic stones. In this life, he had to become overwhelmingly strong. He immediately socketed the gems into his equipment. All his gear was now fully socketed. Lian was very satisfied. His power had increased by more than 50%. The next morning, Lian received a banquet invitation from Ma Tinlu. He was already prepared, just as Lian was about to leave, and Xianxia was already waiting at the door. Before long, they all arrived at Ma Tinlu's private hotel. Ma Tinlu greeted Lian, let's go to the room first and have a proper chat. Just then, Shu Alan walked over. It turned out Ma Tinlu wanted to use Shu Alan to win over Lian. Even if he was a prophet, he was still a man. But once everyone was seated at the dinner table, the atmosphere became incredibly quiet. This was something Ma Tinlu had never expected. He also couldn't believe how clueless Shu Alan was. Shu Alan, you, come with me. I have something to talk to you about. Shu Alan slowly followed behind Ma Tinlu. After a short while, they stopped. Shu Alan said happily, the food today is delicious. But those words sounded like mockery to Ma Tinlu, and he was furious. Do you think I called you over just to eat? I need you to liven up the atmosphere, understand? You really have no perception at all? Or are you doing this on purpose? Didn't Xianxia tell you? About who he is? This man is the prophet. He knows everything about the angel game. I need you to make a sacrifice. Even if it means giving up everything you have, you must get a hold of him. I want the prophet under my control. That way, I'll become the strongest. What you need to do is make him fall completely in love with you, so he'll serve me. Don't even think about refusing me. You'll never be able to pay off your debt in this lifetime. What you need to do right now is help me capture his heart. Understand? See? So, Ma Tinlu and Shu Alan finished their conversation. And the final result was that Shu Alan had to make Lian fall in love with her. Just as Lian finished with the dinner and was about to leave, Ma Tinlu shot a look at Shu Alan, signaling her to stop the two of them. At that moment, Lian's younger brother spoke up. I'm a fan of Miss Shu, he said, and added that he wanted to take a picture with Shu Alan. At this, Ma Tinlu, who was standing nearby, picked up his phone. He sent an instruction to Shu Alan, but the content of the message made her expression change. It seems the younger brother is easier to win over. As long as you win him over. Ma Tinlu believed that Lian would then also be his to command. To help Shu Alan secure Lian more quickly, he led everyone to a premium room in the hotel and said they could sing and have fun in the private room as they pleased. He added that all the drinks and fruit were free, and even said that if they had any other special requests, they could just have Xianxia arrange it. Lian expressed his thanks for this. I actually do have one request. My younger brother is a fan of Shu Alan. I hope she can step outside and take a photo with my brother. A moment later, the two of them walked out. Watching the two of them leave, Lian finally muttered aloud. You doing all this because you take me for an idiot? Ma Tinlu's face instantly became awkward. Did you really think I wouldn't notice your little tricks? You'd better not try to be clever in front of me. Don't forget, I am a seer. And don't you dare get any ideas about my brother. And you are not allowed to hide anything from me. Ma Tinlu's expression was extremely conflicted. He felt like he had no secrets in front of him. He hurriedly tried to explain to Lian. I just wanted to get your help. I can help you, but I absolutely will not allow what happened today to happen again. I shouldn't have done that. It will absolutely never happen again. Now, let's discuss the information for the 5th round of the game. Ma Tinlu knew that information about the angel game was top secret. So he had Xianxia lead the others to a room off to the side. I will tell you all the information about the future games. But in exchange, you need to trust me completely with the company's decisions. In a very short time, I will help the company become one of the top player guilds in the world. I'll even make you the strongest player in the world. But the condition is that you must obey me in all company decisions. Of course, Ma Tinlu wouldn't refuse such an offer. For him, there was absolutely no downside. But Lian's next words terrified him. Without his help, you will die in the 5th round. The 5th round will be the most difficult one in history. As long as you follow my arrangements, it won't be difficult for you, a dark knight, to survive. The mission issued by the angels will be to kill 300 orcs. The most important part is that in the 5th round, the regions will merge. Hearing this, Ma Tinlu's face lit up with joy. This meant he could finally meet the player Black Scythe. But Lian just shook his head. Although the regions are merging, you won't be merged into the same region as Black Scythe. Hearing this, Ma Tinlu looked a little disappointed. He then asked if Lian knew who Black Scythe was. I don't know who Black Scythe is. But the prophecy says you two will meet soon enough. Suddenly, Lian changed the subject. Are you investigating a certain man? Ma Tinlu was shocked. He even knows that I'm looking for Huang Yangmin? Because he once tried to murder Xianxia and Shu Alan. That's why I'm investigating him. He Lian told him to stop the investigation. Ma Tinlu looked puzzled, but He Lian didn't give him a reason. He just said that if you continue your investigation, you will suffer for it. Ma Tinlu thought for a moment. He always found himself unconditionally trusting He Lian's words. There was a reason why He Lian had saved Huang Yangmin. He will be of great use in the later rounds. The two of them talked for several hours. After learning how incredibly difficult the 5th round would be, he realized he needed to restore his dark magic as soon as possible. Scene changes. A man is seen fleeing for his life in the rainy night. Behind him, Ma Tinlu stared him down intently. The man looked at Ma Tinlu, his eyes pleading. I've already paid for my mistakes. Why won't you just let me go? Ma Tinlu's expression was unwavering. He raised the Dark Knight's longsword. Then, streams of dark magic energy swirled around his body, and even the sword in his hand began to glow brighter. It turns out that Ma Tinlu needed to periodically kill criminals to replenish his dark magic. The sins they committed were the best source of dark magic power. Meanwhile, He Lian was staring blankly at his phone. 245 views. News reports were saying that the world began to change with the appearance of players. Apparently, the Angel game had caused a sharp decline in the world's population. Players who had gained power were committing indiscriminate crimes. They even formed anti-government alliances online. And the first thing He Lian did was go to an interview to join one of them. This was the only way he could obtain a brand new rune. Just then, a heavy-set man pushed open the door to the interview room. He subconsciously scanned his surroundings. This must be the place for the interview, right? Seeing this, the man stood up. Are you also here for the player interview? After getting an affirmative answer from the big guy, he asked, what's your in-game name? The big guy said his name was Black Fire Dragon. The interviewer then said, this is Little Fire Chicken. He's also here for the interview. This guy looks so frail, so skinny. Is he really a player? The big guy desperately wanted to kill these two right then and there. Doing so would boost his own abilities. It turned out the man's rune was an absorption rune. After a certain number of kills, he would gain random stats. That's why he went on a killing spree during the 4th round. And because of that, the first thing the man did when he returned to reality was kill every single classmate he had. But their levels were too low to meet his needs, and the stat increase was pathetically small. Later, after a lot of searching, he discovered that players had formed alliances. If he hunted players within the alliance, his own power would grow stronger and stronger. Is it just the two of us for the interview? Can we start now? The man replied, we're still waiting for one more player. A man in a black suit appeared before them. Are you also here for the player interview? May I ask what your username is? He said fawningly, please, have a seat. These two are also here for the interview. At this point, the big guy was on pins and needles. He was Black Scythe, the man who killed me 5 times in the 4th round. The man's attitude was arrogant. I'm Black Scythe. Hello, I'm Little Fire Chicken. It's a pleasure to be at this interview with you. The big guy was trembling. He whispered, I'm Black Fire Dragon. He wished he could bury his head in the ground. But the big guy noticed that Black Scythe had no reaction at all. It was as if he didn't even recognize him. Could it be that even after killing me 5 times, I wasn't even significant enough for him to notice? But I'm not that arrogant. I'm just pretending to be another player. But this guy, he's a real con artist. This man's real username is Olio. He created all sorts of scams to make money. Right now, he's very weak. But in the future, he obtains the clone rune. He used that rune to commit all kinds of crimes. This time, I've met him according to my plan. I will take the clone rune that was supposed to be his. Since everyone's here, I'll need your detailed information. My name is Kim Sun-yun. I'm 20 years old, just graduated and don't have a job yet. You're a level 13 assassin, right? Everything Black Scythe said was true. Except, of course, for the username Little Fire Chicken. Little Fire Chicken was someone else. He was just pretending to be another person. This was because the requirement for the clone rune was to hide your own identity and commit a murder at the location where the rune is hidden. In other words, this guy impersonated me and committed murder to obtain the clone rune. After everyone's information was registered, there's one last part you'll need to complete yourselves. The man gave a malicious smile. All you have to do is kill one person. Black Scythe pretended to be confused. Why do we have to do that? You've all seen the news, I'm sure. The nations are starting to fear us, to fear our power. We need to show them the truth. That players are the true masters. Players stand above the laws of any nation. Now you all understand, don't you? That's the reason. Of course, you can choose to leave now. However, anyone who leaves will not receive any help from us in the future. He Lian was well aware that this was just a way to tie everyone together. Players who had committed crimes couldn't just leave the alliance. Since no one has left, I'll start the next part of the interview. The man pretended to leave.